I asked you to quit drinking once. Do you remember that?
Of course not.
Of course not. I asked him, like, SOBs, I don't remember what year it was, backstage, downstairs. And just cracking it, like I was halfway joking, but halfway not, because he used to get bottles of Patron. And they'd be like the full big boys. And he used to like down them. And I remember,
you would just sit there and watch.
I did not sit there, but I remember coming back through. I remember
record label.
I remember coming back through and he had another bottle. And I don't remember him sharing it with anybody. And I remember walking up to him, like we was always been, and I just remember saying to him, like, yo, bro, you gotta chill. Like,
and what he say? What he said to you?
He looked me dead in the face and he was like, what, you think I got a problem? And I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you gotta chill. And he looked me dead in the face and say, he said, I don't have an addiction, I got a gift. Or he said, I don't have a problem, I have a gift. Some slick shit, some slick rap shit like that.
Who was around when he said this?
It was a bunch of motherfuckers, but it was a crowded, you know, SOBs down there. It was a crowded fucking room.
Right.
And everybody was trying to like take a picture and chop it up with him.
You said that in front of a room full of people.
I said it where he could hear me because it was happening in the moment. And I was like, yo, bro, you gotta like.
So you whispered in his, hold on.
Yeah, but your opinion's not valid because you don't drink.
Because I don't drink. That's how a lot of niggas dismiss me when I say shit like that.
Yeah. You basically went to Amsterdam to the red light district to the whorehouse and said, stop fucking.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Why
are you fucking? No, did you whisper it in his ear?
In that instance, that's me trying to at least toss condoms to niggas. Like, if you're gonna be doing it, but there was. I just wanted you to.
In that 1 second, to mind your business.
In that one, yes. He basically told me, mind my business.
There you go.
And my thing. No, I didn't take it as. I didn't take it as mind my business. I took it as. I don't have the words that's gonna make this thing happen.
So I'm a mind my business.
But you did it. You said that to me because why?
Because I thought you were hurting yourself.
Okay.
It looked like you were hurting yourself.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. So at that time, you were a journalist, correct? Okay, because I've been around a lot of journalists because I've had to do interviews at venues and stuff, and none of the white journalists ever said that to me. So why do you think, what is it about me that you think made you care more than you would probably normally care?
You really like the music.
You're black.
Aside from that.
I know where you're going with this.
Do you think that there's a bit of an emotional connection that we have as black men?
I hear what you're saying, but nah, white friends, they
He's not
white friends go hard.
I didn't say white friends.
No,
I didn't say white friends. I'm talking about what
At
was
that
it?
point, were you guys friends?
Because he didn't have to care.
Right.
I considered us cool, maybe not friends. I considered us good associates. Every time I saw him, it was always good vibes.
Right.
And
But if he was getting jumped, you wouldn't jump in. You'd just be like, oh shit.
I like to fight, so.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I did it because, I never really thought about that. Well, number one, I would hate to see you fuck up. I had always been a fan of your music. So the idea of us losing another talent to preventable bullshit. Like, I'm a big fan of Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, one of the things is he drank himself to death. I've never been happy about that. And I've always said, like, if I don't say anything and it just happens, and I didn't have the opportunity, I had the opportunity, I ain't say shit, how much of my conscience is gonna be eaten up by that? And then number two, like I said, you were cool. I didn't want to see you, I never want to see nobody doing it to themselves.
So why don't that same thing apply to Dr. Dre?
That's where he's. I
no,
felt that.
because Dr. Dre.
He was.
So at that time, what would you think?
Shit, maybe it did.
That's what he's talking about.
No. I was gonna say it wouldn't hurt me. Dr. Dre would be hurt financially if he invested in you and you fucked the bag up. However, I just said that I would have been affected as far as my conscience was concerned. If
so why wouldn't Dre be affected? Because Dr. Dre was business. Because Dr. Dre was looking at him as a business.
It wasn't a scenario where I did something where he felt like I could fuck the bag up. He was offering me a bag. I was trying not to take the bag to go take another bag somewhere else.
To go take a bigger bag.
Why would he let me do that?
Maybe
because you're going to take, you getting $750,000 more.
Nah, listen, hold on. First of all, we talking about a man that was in a legendary group that fell apart because of business.
That's a fact.
Like,
that's a fact.
He knew.
NWA went
that
left
shit might-
off the strength.
that shit might have been
Can we
triggering.
all agree here that Dre knew what the best decision was?
No.
You don't think? You don't feel like that?
No.
You're Royce.
No, because you don't know the future.
No, he didn't know the future.
I don't know Dre, but based on what ESSO said, and ESSO knows my personality, and I could sympathize with Dre on this. If you and I are rocking, and you even tell me someone else is hitting you and you're considering
That's
it,
the problem.
No. Listen to me. I ain't saying shit. ESSO know. He already know. I cut that nigga off.
He know I did too.
Yeah.
And I'm not. And Royce, that's kind of fucked up, but that's probably how Dre processed things in his mind. He probably felt mad at him.
And was well within his right to.
Didn't Nas do the same thing with Nature?
With Nature.
We had that whole
And
conversation.
was well within his right to. So the conversation that we're having is, at what point does mentorship play a role here, and how important is that?
Am I your mentor, or are you just asking me a bunch of questions?
Well, why don't you?
No, you're somebody who you're looking at me, and we have a different connection than I would have with Tommy Boy Records.
Are you?
From my perspective, we building a connection. I flew you out. We've been working. If that's really a connection, you never would have came to me with that conversation. The connection would have had the value that would have that would have surpassed the monetary.
Okay. So
You know what I'm
now we're basically, are we teaching the 20-year-old the right thing to do, or are we punishing the 20-year-old for not knowing?
I
the
don't
right
think
thing
it's
to
a
do?
punishment, because the 20-year-old kind of made me feel like,
let's look at
is
it a punishment or is it a
business.
Is it a punishment or is it a consequence?
Let's hear this.
Is it a punishment or is it a consequence?
Let's call it a consequence. Let's not even use semantics.
That sounds like
let's
a
call it a
consequence.
consequence if that feels better.
Right.
When we raise our kids, we come up a certain way. Our kids come up a different way. Do we punish them for everything that they do, where we just assume that they would know better? That we didn't teach them.
No,
we don't.
No, but you don't. You also don't look to negate their consequences from their actions. You don't look to take away the consequences of what happened.
Right.
Like, you don't punish them for not. If a kid touches a stove and you never told him it was hot, you don't punish him because he touched the stove, but your hand's still gonna burn, bro. Like, this is what happens.
Some of those lessons are
I know, but we
invaluable.
dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay, maybe that circles back to the point that I was making, where I don't know how much we're at luxury to be able to take that position all of the time in this business, because every other group of people in every walk of life are basically prepping people. They're prepping their kids, and they're playing musical chairs with these high executive seats, and are making the most important decisions, pertinent decisions in black culture, in our culture. And every time we build something together, it collapses. We fall apart. And the solidarity is never there. And that a large part of that is because we're not sharing the information with each other. We're too self-absorbed. We're too in our own heads. And when I talk about people like Dre, he comes from and is a product of the same scenarios and environments that the young kids that you're talking about are from.
Right.
He made a lot of those same mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And it was because of his lack of information. We coming into a business where there's no handbook for it, there's no school that you can go to. Everything that you're learning is through trial and error. So instead of the people who came before you, like your predecessors and shit, instead of them kind of embracing and teaching, there's more competing.
But you can't really go there, bro, because we're talking about someone who has a history of failed partnerships.
Yeah, no, but see, I don't want
so
you.
why am I trying to do the same thing I did before that fell apart?
Yeah, but see what you're saying is implying that I don't understand his position. I don't want y'all to think I don't understand his position. Don't conflate everything that I'm saying. I'm creating scenarios. I'm using Dr. Dre as an example because that's a situation that I could speak about knowledgeably.
Okay.
Because I was in that situation. But like I said, that situation is not a regret. I don't harbor any resentment toward Dre.
Right.
I love Dre. I don't feel like he wronged me in any way. I just feel like if we're talking about what the best decision was, in retrospect, the best decision would have been for me to stay with Dr. Dre because I knew that he was about to create a dynasty and he was about to shift the world and he was about to change the way that music was consumed forever.
So why?
Sonically.
So you shouldn't have left.
So I shouldn't have left. So that wasn't the best decision. Doesn't mean that if I had stayed that I would have made the right decisions.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
You might have
because
stayed and been like, no disrespect, Obi Trice.
But what I'm saying is through mentorship, better decisions get made. And when you take a little bit of an extra step and it is a little bit more intentional with just making sure that you share information and kind of protect the youth from doing dumb shit as much as you can.
I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Then I think we create more superstars.
I'm going to tell you exactly why your example.
Before you make your point, man.
Go.
I think Baby from Cash Money, I think his goal, one of his goals in life was to make Weezy a millionaire, was to make him a superstar. That was one of his goals. It wasn't to do business with Weezy and then Weezy get rich while he get rich. No, he had a vision in his mind. I want to make him a superstar. I want my son to be on top of the world.
Right.
And he succeeded at doing that. There's no record label out there that has that kind of a vision with a young black man. That's not what their goal and intention is at all.
Right.
It's the same ending. Yeah, we all want to get rich. You're going to stand next to that label and you're going to get rich. But they're not looking at you and having that kind of emotional connection to you because their fulfillment comes in making money off of you. Baby's fulfillment came in watching Wayne blow the fuck up and become a millionaire. I think Dre's fulfillment of watching Snoop and Dre's fulfillment of watching Marshall and Dre's fulfillment of watching 50 is different from the fulfillment that Jimmy Iovine got. I just feel that.
I agree.
And it goes back to the point that you were making where you felt the need to speak up and at least plant a seed to me. Yo, man, I don't want to see you fuck up. You know what I mean? And you only care because you're looking at another black man. You're looking at another black man. We have an emotional connection to one another.
Right.
It's not always just business with us. What I'm saying is, why don't we embrace that more? Embrace that more through mentorship and stop always pointing out the propensity that we have to fuck shit up.
Because
we already know that we have that.
The other side of it is, had I said that to you that night, and you'd have said something loud that embarrassed me, I'd have walked away like, fuck that nigga.
Wishing you wouldn't have said nothing.
There's one. Two, had Dr. Dre come up in the information age today where he thinks he knows everything, and you come up in the information age, you go to talk to Dr. Dre, and you think you know everything, and you start telling him numbers back, man, get the fuck out my face.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.